Plan ahead and organize. We don't want you to reach in the middle and you say, now you see, they breached me.
You're not always here. Let's do for you a place you can sleep, but still you can earn rental income.
We used phased construction and WhatsApp management to deliver his projects over 2 years.
Which means construction is easy. Most of us, the youth, twagala kusimbula. Small money we get over the weekend, we have to.
Once you take the right steps, once you go on taking on the right stages, it becomes easier, it becomes doable. It's not complicated at all.
Many things where there are investment groups. So I be part of them, so that I be among people who are in that direction.
Hi everyone, my name is Usuga Wycliffe, and today we are on the Engineers Corner podcast, where we're having our guests who are engineers, and they are going to give us facts about construction. I would like them to introduce themselves. I will not try to introduce them because, these are people of matter, they're people of value.
So my name is Simwe Timothy. I'm a civil engineer by profession and one of co-founders of Archibald Construction Consultants. So we are here to give you a lot of information about construction as we are in this discussion with my other partners.
Yes, besides me, I have also another guest. He's new to our show and is a very, very, very key person when you want to construct. So anyone who is interested in construction, you should listen to this one. He's a very, very good person. He knows a lot because his experience. He has done these things for quite a long. I would like him to introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Akankwasa Haman. I'm an architect with great skills in architecture, interior design, and landscaping. I've been in the field for close to a decade, and I'm really excited about this to be at the Engineers Corner. And I believe you would really want to see what we have brought for you today.
Now, most of us, like the youth, we really want to get into construction. We want to start building. We want to invest in real estate. What should I do? Someone, a good example, I'm just out of school.
Yes.
I've just finished my education, but now I feel like I should invest in real estate. How should I start the journey of wanting to invest in real estate, wanting to construct? How should I start? What should I do personally?
Okay, maybe let me go first on this. I think if you have that urge in you to construct as a person, you're starting up and you have these ambitions, you've been to school, there's a life you want to be. I think it would start with your mindset about this, because most of the time starting up is easy, but it's not an easy decision to go through, because there's nothing that can go on before you started. For example, like you've said, someone's from school, the first day you went to school, I don't know if you had envisioned how you would be at university. But the most important thing here is your mindset to start. That would really help you to choose the direction you want to take. Like you were saying, for example, if I've just come out of campus, I've just started working, and I have this ambition to say maybe I need to own my own property where I stay or what. So when you have these questions in your mind and you start, even that simple question you've asked shows me that inside you, there is that person in you who wants to do something. So me, I believe once that comes, that exact time is the right time to start. As me, that's what I think. Start from there. And maybe if you go like to construction, and there are patterns that are set to start up a thing. For example, I could say that if you want, like you've said, building real estate, you need to plan. First thing you do, plan these things, engage someone who knows about planning and start from there. Tell them what you want, have a conversation, have a chat, and this will kickstart you. I think that would be good.
Okay. Now, another issue would be, I've talked probably to an engineer, but in most cases, you may find that the amount of money that I'll need in maybe starting up the project that I would want, it is too much compared to what probably at this stage I've gotten a job, probably earning 300,000 a month. So with that amount of money, I see I still have a long way to go.
Yes.
What else could I do probably to start investing and to start maybe constructing?
So basically, on my side, I would say as a beginner of everything, whoever wants to get started, you first build the ambition. Like that question you're asking yourself prepares you to get the answer. Because you cannot do what you don't know. But if you say, now I want to go into a direction of real estate as an investor, and I've just started schooling, I've started working maybe with a small salary, 300 per month, I would advise this person that is a very good ambition. Me, what I would do at that time, one thing I would do is I have to study people who are in real estate. One, in the economy where I'm staying. If I'm in Kenya, if I'm in Tanzania, if I'm in Uganda, Nigeria, any country in Africa, first study people who are successful in that business. So that I get to know what do they do at my time. How do they get the capital? How did they get started? Because now when I know they got started, it will encourage me. Then as Mr. Man has said, then I do the planning. I know that this is the vision of what I want. Me, when I was growing up, I used to know the house I want. So I would do, maybe I cut it from newspapers and hang it on my wall. So every time I'm going to work, I say, this is my dream house.
Yes.
So I'm ambitious to do that. So meaning that I'm going to be disciplined as an individual, not spend any money that I get. I have to now start knowing which location am I going to invest. Now I have to study which type of real estate am I going to go into. Is it a residential house? Am I going to do flipping? Am I going to do rentals? Then I have to be in the investment clubs. You know, there are churches, there are maybe religious groups, there are many things where there are investment groups. So I be part of them so that I be among people who are in that direction as a beginner. Because these people, when you are with them, you are going to be encouraged and supported to go there. Then finally, possibly, I would know that what I'm going to invest in needs a lot of money. So I would improve on my skill. So that I get more cash flow so that I can get that money that I can invest in real estate as a beginner. But after making a big study and being motivated to take that direction.
Okay, Engineer, you've talked of discipline. What do you mean by discipline? If you want to invest, because you know most of us, the youth, twagala kusimbula. Twagala kusimbula. The small money we get over the weekend, we have to, you know. So how can I balance the lifestyle with my goal of investing?
That is very good. If you are going to be an investor now, you have to know that real estate is a long-term game. The truth is you cannot be successful in real estate in 1 year, 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
So you have to be ready to walk that long journey. Most people who talk to us in real estate are successful, but when you listen to their stories, they tell you they are 40, 50, 60 years. There's a reason. The first years is a struggle. It is a dedication. It is giving up all those things that take money, and you start looking like, for example, land. Because one of the key things that are required in real estate is land.
Yes.
But you can imagine the cost of a plot of land now in a good place. It starts from 20 million and above. Those developing areas which are far, you look for 10, 8 million, but have to wait for 10 years. You understand? So if you are a beginner in real estate, you must have discipline. There are things you are going to forego. You have to leave those good things.
Gamba tetukyasobola kusimbula.
You have to sacrifice because you want to create freedom later. So meaning that you are going to forgo those things. The little money you get, you focus it on saving so that at least you can start getting the initial requirements, especially land, before even you get started planning and everything. So you have to be a good saver. If you listen to those people, why I say that you have to study people who have been successful in the real estate field, you are going to hear that in their beginning, they sacrificed a lot.
True.
They had to get money, put it in banks for the whole year. They had to sacrifice this. Then they got their land in prime places. Then they later started investing. So if you cannot do that, it will be a bit impossible for you to really get the initial start of what can prepare you to do real estate as a youth. So the earlier you start, so that you can be able to get capital and start the game.
Yeah, you've talked of listening to these people who first were in the industry, probably. Which person should I listen to and at which stage? Because I have a friend of mine who has ever built a house and it reached at a certain level. I think that was that team level. And he failed from there. And he was like, hey, Fana, Ivanduka. So, what would have been the problem, the issue? Because this guy, he got some money, probably started working, he was earning around 1.2 a month. Then, after some time, he couldn't maybe continue with the construction, but he listened to someone saying, get the money, invest in real estate. So, what did he do wrong?
Personally, with the experience which I've seen after constructing for very many people, talking with rich people, I've even worked with one of the richest people in our country, listening to what they do. I've come to conclusion that to create wealth, you must have 1, a mindset. 2, you must have got knowledge. 3, you must have got enough information. Then 4, you must have a high income skill. You as an individual who wants to create wealth in any business, any sector, you must have a high income skill. A high income skill, that skill that you have as an individual, which can never be taken from you, that can help you to get restarted when you have been put down by any scenario. These are skills I can tell you, like marketing, the ability to start a business, the ability to manage people, the ability to take risks, the ability to start anything from zero and build it to 10 million, 20 million, so that even if you get any problem, you can always use the same skills you have acquired to rebuild yourself. So what happens most of the times when people finish campus and they start working, the only skill they have is when they're on a job. A job is not an income skill. So someone gets excited and he gets a job, maybe 1.2 million or 500 or 800, and he gets excited. He thinks he can use that. Some people even get loans and they start constructing. In the middle of the job, they chase him. He has not acquired the skill. That person has not acquired the skill. Right? So what you are focusing on is something that is inherent, that can always prepare you to get started. That's why most of the times, if you're going to invest in real estate, you are going to get broke many times. Because even when you cast the foundation, you get broke. All your accounts will be dry. The high income skill takes over. You go back, run the business, make profit, make out of iterations in profit, then come and invest again. But when you don't have that skill, at all costs in real estate, you are going to come and get dry. And there are projects that really, when you get stuck, you cannot go ahead. It comes back to you as an individual, especially like that one. So if the question you was asked, which people should I listen to? I would not advise to listen to any person. What I would advise you is to study every person. Studying is different. See the top players in real estate in our country. What did they do right? See the failures in real estate. What did they do wrong?
Yeah.
You understand? Now you are making a study. Then pick the knowledge, apply it to your life, and see how can it help you to develop a real estate. Now, the integrated knowledge of yours and your strength as an individual. This person, most of people who are in real estate, they tell us they go to the money from UK. But for you, are in Uganda.
Yes.
These are two different economies.
Yeah.
A Ugandan economy is different from a UK economy. You earn 1 million, this person was earning more money. I have a client of mine who have done 4 rentals in Mukono. He works in Dubai. He can raise 8 million per month. You know, he has put up rentals of 300 million in 2 years. He's a different person from me, a Ugandan, who's earning 800. So even if I listen to his advice, it is not applicable.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I can do, I can study what he has done. Then I see myself. What can I do to raise my income? What can I do to improve my state? How can I raise capital to reach that level? Because if he talks to me, he makes it very simple. But the truth is, real estate is not as easy as someone can explain it to you when he's at a successful level. So it has to go back and you study from these people, and you go back to yourself and you study your strength before you start engaging in any real estate business or getting started. Other than listening to them or copying them, or even if listening to me or listening to anyone, but studying everyone would help you more.
Okay.
That is how I would think.
What would be your take?
I wouldn't divert a lot from what he said, because this, like, you need that discipline. They talked about that discipline, and you really need to acquire the knowledge first. You need cash flow. I know the youth, we like things quicker. We don't tend to like the process, that long process, studying studying a person, study this one who has failed and know where they have made a mistake, study this one who has made it. Many don't get, they seem that, like, society, the society we are in, we are taken over by many things. So, but this is what it takes. You need to acquire that knowledge. You need to cover that knowledge gap. You need to understand how to build yourself. You need to understand what you want. And the good thing is that we are in an environment that we are going through things that we are not the first people who have gone through. You get it? So if you have a challenge in real estate, just know there is a person who has gone through that same thing. If you have a challenge in maybe, like you've said, someone constructed and reached somewhere and they thought they were bewitched. But when maybe the issue is, you never know, maybe you never know, maybe someone can take a loan, and I've seen it. It is common. Someone takes a loan and maybe they told them this thing costs this much, and maybe they take a figure close or slightly higher, and this money is not enough. So with a person who has acquired this knowledge, a person who has built themselves, even when you reach there, you can go back, and now the skills you've acquired, they help you to come and now kickstart this thing you started. You push that dream. You focus on building it. In this life, I don't think it is a place where you give up. You will never give up. Me, I remember the day I wanted to be an architect. It is very amazing. When we were very young, we used to play a lot with stones, and I was a person who used to organize those little stones and say, now, this is my room, this is my what. But in there, I didn't know that the thing I wanted was architecture. I was playing, and I loved it. You drive these toys, you put in this small car box of stones, you say it is a garage. Kumbe, inside there, I was arranging space. I didn't know. So as life went on, I started getting attracted to that. Then I started getting people I wanted to follow. I became ambitious. At the start, when you say you want to be an architect, it sounds a lot. But now the ambition overcovers that. Then now the discipline, the knowledge acquired, and then the people there, even in project, even as architects, you can get work that you've never done before. But the way we go around it is to study these case studies and see how people that have done it are doing it, then there you become innovative. So I think it is more of a self-building kind of approach. So that you now reach a level where you can sustain it, and that is about growth. It is very fundamental for us, the youth, to understand that now this thing has a process. I'll not just jump up tomorrow and say now I'm building a 6-storied house.
True.
It has a process. This you're dealing with cash flow. It's a lot. Like he was saying, you need to study people who have done it and doing it. Failing is not bad, by the way. Say failing is the best thing that can happen to you when you're starting up the thing, because the more you fail is the more you learn. The more these mistakes you do. If a person fears to make a mistake, I think maybe they close that gap of learning. But the more you make these mistakes, the more you do what, you just go back and check where you made it wrong and come back on board. And that is life. So once you have the ambitions, you've acquired the knowledge, this will help you to acquire the you call them the high income skills.
Yes.
And these will help you build yourself.
True. Now, engineer, you talked of building for a client who's in diaspora, probably. And we've gotten very many cases on the TV whereby someone gave a relative money and they ate the money,
Yes.
And most of us now, a youth probably today in Uganda who has gotten a visa, work permit to go and work in Dubai, and he feels like he wants to invest now back home. Now, these people, when they see these stories, they get scared and they're like, munai, kasente kange bayinza okukaluma. Yinza okukawa, So, how have you helped, for example, that client you've talked of? How did you work with him? Did you involve any family member? How did he manage the site? Because right now he's not there in the country. So him not being there is a lot that goes on, and he wouldn't notice. Abantu bamututya ba engineer tuga abantu ba seminti everytime atizo mtajisangako.
Yeah.
So now, how have you tried to work with such clients? How have they managed their projects very well? And probably it has reached maybe completion, I don't know. How have you helped him?
So one, first, I usually don't say let's generalize to by engineer or not, but there are some people who still have integrity.
Yeah.
So me, I've got very many clients, high profile, those who are in foreign countries. They all come to our company, Akibid Construction Consultants. But we usually first educate them. Usually first what? Educate them. What I did with our client is to tell him how to invest his money. Because actually when he came to me, he had a plot of 50 by 100 in Mukono, and he was asking me, I want to put up a home. That was the question.
Yeah.
Then I asked him, after getting a referral from doing some work for another client, I told him, why are you interested in a home, yet you're working in Dubai? Say, if I reach in Uganda, I want to have where I put my family, I be okay. Then I told him, that is not something I would want you to do. I have some free proposal that I would do for you. That's what if you did a rental with some room that can act as a home, so that you can always earn some money as you sleep. Couldn't that be something far better than actually just a home?
Yeah.
Because also, people, when talk of real estate, everyone thinks of a house. And if you have listened to Kiyosaki, a house is not a real estate investment because it does not bring in cash flow. We are seeing at cash flow per month.
It's a liability.
It's a liability. He tells you if you build a house, it is going to take all the money. You have to pay bills, you have to do anything. At the end of the month, it is asking actually more. I need electricity and everything. So it's what I was telling my client. Why can't we do a rental whereby you can have maybe one unit, a 2-bedroom, you use that, then the other ones, they be rentals and you get some cash flow. It's like, wow, I can go with that. So that's how we got started. So initially, I totally believe that if you are an engineer, your work is to serve and help these people. Because as a statement says, if you can help many people get what they want, also God will bless you with what you want. So I talked to this guy. I was like, let's do that. Then we did the plans for him. He was part of the team. Then we did the approvals in Mukono. Then we started using WhatsApp management. WhatsApp management is now crucial. I learned it when we are working with one of high-profile people in the country. He has got some homes in the UK and where. And what he would do, he would get all of us, engineers and contractors, put us in a group, and every day you have to write what you have said, what you have done, with evidence of photos. So that's the new mode of management. Yeah. So I told this client, we went in the same group with his wife and one of his representative was a relative. Instead of putting the other person, we were in the same group. So we went, he showed me the site, and I started grading. When he's not there, I give him the photos, take the videos, show him everything, tell him the receipts of what people have graded. Then to make it easy, I will tell him this is the amount of money I've used for grading. This is the amount of money for supervision. So that I'm paid independent of the works. You understand? Because most people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know? But I will tell him this is my supervision costs, this is the amount of this. And he was okay with it. And now he would send the money, then later you find it was easy for him to send the money on the company account in Uganda. We pick the money and we do. So how we do the construction for these rentals, I introduced to him what we call phased construction. The principle of phased construction is at all costs, if you are constructing a big project, you cannot have money at a go. You're going to be having it in phases. So as a company would tell you, the foundation alone would cost you this much. If you finish the foundation, you could even rest. You again work for 2, 3, 4 months, then raise money for the maybe pre-walling. Then after that, we'll tell him you can now rest and maybe handle some things you want to do at home and other things. Then after you look for money for roofing. So we call it phased construction. That's how the term came in. So we build the house in phases. You can do a long-term project, but with ease and lightness. So that is how I managed with him. So whenever I would feel that he's not interested in continuing, would make a stopover, but we tell him, let this phase be done. So we did the foundation first, finished it. The relatives would come and verify. His friends would come and verify. We'd get all the photos, would get accountability for all his money. Then after that, we did and we roofed the house. Later, he sent the designs for what he wanted to do, the welding. We did the windows. From there, we went on, did the doors. Now the project is going to be commissioned in December. What has transpired actually and made us happy as a company, he said, for the good work we have done, we are going to remain doing the management.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
Now, all the houses are so beautiful, as you're going to see them, but they have been taken.
Wow.
People are running to rent them. So it's like, engineer, I cannot leave you without those houses.
Wow.
So what I want you to get all the tenants, be the one collecting money, and I asked him, just tell me the account you want me to pay your money. And next year we are starting another project, but this time it will be stored. So that is how I dealt with him from inception to handover. But we used phased construction and WhatsApp management, deliver his project over 2 years.
Which means construction is easy. It made it easy because if I probably where I'm working, maybe in Canada, so which means I don't need to come back to the country and look at the projects that I'm probably doing. So which means you just send me the photos and maybe another person or a family member can come and always check my project, how far they've gone. Wow. Construction has been made easy.
Yeah, with the internet, you can do everything online. Because now on his rentals, we installed cameras. He observes everything taking place.
Wow.
From Dubai. You understand? I have even another client now who has come in. For him, he's working in the UK. And we are doing him actually a residential house. In Reza. Using the same methodology. The wife also works in Dubai. Then for him, he works in UK. So what they do is When we need materials, I tell them you can get any hardware you want. We can always deposit money there, or we go into an agreement with them, pick the materials at the end of the month. These ones they pay, then we do the construction in phases. And we are done with the plinth walling. Yeah? So with technology, you can use that to be able to construct, even if you're in foreign countries.
Yeah.
What you need is to have people with integrity, get good engineers. For us as a company, we are nowhere to go because we have very many projects. We have very many projects and we can never be below standards. We have the standards we're operating. We follow. You must have an approved plan. We cannot do if you don't have an approved plan. You're in the wrong place because I'm not allowed. I'm more professional.
Yeah.
We have to have an agreement which we agree. We must have the entire cost of the house so that you also know, so that you can be able to execute the project properly. We don't want you to reach in the middle and you say, now you see, they breached me. You must have done proper
preparation plan.
And that is why it is in construction. Plan ahead and you organize. And when you feel you have reached a certain level and you can't go on, it's not a war. Go again and work, collect some money. You shall start from there. You understand? So that's how we've been managing projects with our clients.
Should we call it e-construction? Because now, if I can literally just use my WhatsApp and I tell this person, you know what?
Yeah.
I need this and this on my site. Probably I want to change this. That
people are
easy,
online.
so easy.
People are online 24 hours and it's very easy. Because, you know, with online management, I can even manage in a meeting.
Wow.
Someone is working and is seeing what is taking place. We can do a video call on my press. I wonder people whose money is usually stolen. Can you tell someone to make a video call?
By the way,
because sometimes they use relatives and they say I don't have a smartphone.
By the way, it is a challenge.
Yes.
I've also seen many people in diaspora, they face this challenge whereby they have trusted people this side, mostly relatives, their wives, their family, and they have sent the money and they have used it in their things. And so actually, even of recent, I got a client. They are in the UK, and they wanted a plan for. They had a plot of 100 by 50. They wanted rentals. So what had happened in the past? I think they worked with some people who disturbed them a lot, whereby I think although they didn't build that trust. They didn't build that great communication. So me as a designer, the challenge I was having is that now they had painted a funny picture about designers in Uganda.
Yes.
But now for such a client, we worked with them and delivered very well. Though with these small challenges to build that trust, make agreements, at least get a representative this side who is not taking control but is the one seeing for you.
Yes.
For example, in this case, this client sent me the sister, and I was working with her, hand in hand with her, as I was giving feedback to the client. Right now, their plans they are ready in approval. They are almost getting approved. So it is, social media has been a platform that can really help us connect and manage these things. So the worry that was there, if you're to trust individuals, you might get messed up because that cycle has been around all the time. You hear many people in diaspora suffering on that. But once you have built this trust, we are a team that is already delivering in that area. Even currently, like we are currently working with, there's a client we're working on who's in the US. We are doing his residence, 5-bedroom storage building. It's going to be done in Entebbe. And right now we have already discussed the plans. They have the images of how it is going to look like. So they're already engaged in the journey, and all of this has been done through WhatsApp management. We go on calls, we discuss all these things, we discuss the spaces they want, and we deliver. So that's how beautiful it is. We are using this to really manage that. So we are no longer in the times where you're short of information of what you're investing in. Yet there are these platforms that we can use. So it's really, it has been an amazing space. Right now we have clients outside and their projects are standing.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting. We've talked of approving a plan or approving probably a design that you are having. What steps are there when you're approving a plan? Okay, the process that someone goes through in order to get the plan
approval.
Yes.
Yeah,
and approval of a plan.
That's a very good question. Now, for a plan to be approved, one, you have to have drawings done by an architect. Then once you do the drawings, so the drawings come in sets depending on the kind of project you're doing. There are drawings that require structural drawings, electric and mechanical drawings. Some projects even ask for geotech surveys. They ask for topos, but to make it easier to answer it easily, let me just paint a scenario of where someone is doing maybe a 3-bedroom house, a residence on a plot of 100 by 50. What you need plans that are stamped, that can be approvable. These plans reflect whatever is needed to be approved. Then you need a proof of ownership of the land. You get it? Then currently there are some new rules that they have introduced. For example, every plan to be approved, you need a letter from the chairman of the area where your land is. Then you need a copy of a national ID. When you have a copy of a national ID, you have your plans, the drawings, the blueprint that are approved, and you have the proof of ownership of the land. You're good to start. You're very good to start. You can go to the authorities, and now they just assess you, and your plans are approved. And technology has helped us now. So some councils, we upload them online. So it is even becoming easier to deal with people who are in diaspora, people who are away. And even we even help people to get letters of the chairman and what if you're not around. As long as we have the right people to talk to, we can really get that done. So it is not really complicated. Once you have professionals working on your drawings, you have a proof of ownership, you have a copy of your national ID and a letter of a chairman, you're good. Your plan can be taken on for approval. The approval process, many people ask how long does the approval process take? It really depends on where and what council you're dealing with. But mostly, on average, most of the approvals take about a month. Some don't take a lot of time. So I've done on an approval that took like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. There's a client who was very lucky when we put our things in, they approved. So it depends, but mostly a month, around a month, you would have your plan approved.
From the part of approval,
yes,
what is next? Because I'm starting my construction. I know nothing. I'm totally green.
Yes.
I don't know. They've approved my plan.
Yes.
Am I allowed to start the construction, or there are other things that?
So once your plans have been approved, you're allowed now to construct. Now, what you have to do, like engineer was advising, you do, let me call it cost engineering. Have sort of a view of how much it would cost for you to construct this. But according to the environment we are in, it has been more comfortable for people to have sort of a phased kind of cost. I would advise for that. Why? If someone asked me how much is my building going to cost, costs are volatile. Things change. There's a time you quote something when the dollar rate is at a certain amount. something small happens, and so this for these estimates, it's better to phase. Say, how much will my foundation cost? How much will the shell of the building cost? So that will help you to start. It won't shed a big burden on you. You can always have a way to go by them. And the best thing with working with professionals is that you save. There are things you can realize on site. When we start a site and the site is open and you realize, okay, now this site, they have told me the soils are like this. What do I do to save? You get it? So the engineers have models of the reason they are called engineers. They engineer these solutions that will help you to develop this. So there's a lot of saving and back and forth. So this I can't say everything. Package it in one statement, but all I say is that once you take the right steps, once you go on taking on the right stages, it becomes easier, it becomes doable, it's not complicated at all.
Yeah. Now, most of us look at the sums of money that these buildings are going to take. Probably because if you tell me you've gotten your plan, but now executing this project, it's going to take you probably 400 million.
Yes.
Now, most of us can't really. That is too much. That is too much. We can't afford it.
Yeah.
So, such kind of a person who has a dream of building a house of, let me say, 400 million. What advice could you give that person?
The advice I would give such a person, already you have a dream of building the house and you discover it is like 400 M and this sounds so big on your pocket, but you have the ability to start. If you have the ability to start, I would say you start because this thing doesn't, you see, there's a saying that Rome was not built in one day. So this day you're judging yourself that you don't have the 400. It's not the day you're going to complete that building. This is a process and it is a journey. It's a beautiful journey. So there are those a bit of challenges and what. And we have done it before. We can advise at every stage. We can advise at every stage on how to go about. I think, like he was explaining, there's no need to put a lot of pressure on yourself when you're constructing. Do what you're able, but just make sure it is a progressive habit. At this stage you're building, you continue like that. Rest for a few months that are comfortable, come back and continue. You're going to wake up and you'll also be asking yourself the same question. How did I build this thing? It is many clients look at the work and like, hey, you did for me this thing, but I also look there, I'll be there and ask myself, how did I? So, but it is a journey. It is a journey. It is a beautiful journey, and it is a decision to grow and progress. You just work it out. It is really very possible to do
to make it.
Yeah.
True. Clients. Let me take myself to be a client.
Okay.
I've just come. Probably to you as an engineer. I have a plan in my head that maybe probably I want my house to be in probably I want it to look in such a way.
Yes.
But you find I'm having this plan or a dream house that I have and I would want to put it in a certain location.
Yes.
Probably on a road.
Yes.
Are there any restrictions? Probably if I want to build a house and they tell you maybe probably here you have to build such and such a house, or here it is supposed to be probably commercial or a residential. Are there any kind of laws?
Yeah, there are guidelines. There are guidelines
Mm.
when constructing. But like you've said, your client, you have this dream, you want to build this kind of a house,
Mm.
and for example, maybe you've taken me to a place maybe that is a swamp. You get it? So why you need your plans to be approved is to protect both of us. You get? If council won't approve a place that is gazetted as a swamp,
Yes.
you get it? It is not really. It goes another direction when you compare it with the law. But for us, we always advise. We advise. The reason why we do site visits is to advise on such issues.
Yes.
For example, you can go to a site that is, let me give an example, it is near a highway. So such a site, when I'm designing, interpreting your dream and what, I put in consideration of the conditions that I've found on site. Every site has its own characteristics. They never be the same. You'll be on a site that has water, you'll be on a site that is near the highway, vibrations are high. You'll be on a site that is in a place that has a lot of wind. Sometimes you'll be on a site where it is in a place that has bad odor around. So when designing, we think of these things. So our initial thing, we go to the site, pick every detail there, and we use it to develop this beautiful environment for you, considering the conditions that the site has. So here you don't mess up. On that day we are visiting the site, if your site is gazetted to be maybe a road reserve, we will let you know.
That's true.
We will let you know, because there are guidelines that are put. You're not going to build in a road reserve. You're not going to build. There are places that have a height restriction. Many people may not be knowing about it, but there are places that have a height restriction. You're near an airport.
Yes.
You're not going to construct a tower of 40 floors. You get it? So we know about these things and we guide, and that is after we have done that site visit where we pick most of those details.
So which means if I'm to buy a plot of land, I have to first involve an engineer or an architect.
It is either way. It is either way. Why I'm saying it is either way. For some plots, it is obvious they are residential places. But in your mind, if you're looking at a piece of land in a specific area where you're not sure, it is good also to really ask and
get information.
Currently I have a client who wanted to construct a school, but they were not sure of what place they need to put it. They have the money and they have the what. So we are collaborating with them to get a nice, good place. These people are also in diaspora, but they have that dream of building a school. So they engaged us and asked us about the best places, prime places where a school can be. So with the feasibility studies we have made, you can really tell where is good for this or the other. Where can you put a commercial?
Yes.
Where can you do a residential? So that kind of project, if you approached us, we can advise you on that even before. And it would help save, like engineer was saying. The client was thinking of just doing a house to sleep in. They advised him, say, no, you're not always here. Let's do for you a place you can sleep, but still you can earn rental income. And that brings back, just imagine if that client just built. The story would be different.
That's true.
It would be different. But since the fact that they had to first come on table and discuss it, with that just one single statement, it is going to make money for the client. So we look at making helping clients make a better decision while investing, and that is it.
Engineer talked of an interesting point. He talked of geotech. I didn't really understand what he meant by geotech. He's bringing, I started these technical terms of engineering.
The current trend in Uganda, we have seen buildings collapsing. We have seen buildings getting defects here and there.
Actually, building collapse.
So, what the government has advised through this, it is now actually under Ministry of Works and Transport, which is now handling much of construction and roads and everything. All high-rise buildings, before they are actually started, or they are approved, or they are initiated into construction, they require what they call geotechnical investigations. These involve carrying out soil tests. We usually go to the sites. Actually, at our company, we have a department that handles them. Go to the sites, excavate, see water levels, pick the soils, take them to the laboratory, check their properties. We see the ability for those soils to carry those buildings. Because when the structure is very heavy and tall, it has got its general weight. So we have the design programs that can analyze that weight against the bearing capacity of that soil. And we see if this structure really can be on that soil. Because all soils in Uganda are not the same. We have different stratas for soils or profiles in Kampala. They are not similar to those of Kasese. They are not similar to those of northern Uganda. So when we are doing soil tests, we want to ascertain that. Then we want to see which areas are prone to earthquakes. Because we have seen earthquakes when they are able to break down the structures. So, like areas like Western Uganda, it is prone to earthquakes. So, meaning that when we're designing for those areas, we usually focus so much on how can we overcome the shaking of earthquakes if they attack the buildings. So we do all that in geotechnical investigations. I was given some work by UNHR and National Water in Western Uganda. It was Kasese region. And they were building a tank around 10 feet and more. And every time they would build it and it would fall. So they're like, this contractor doesn't know how to construct, but the contractor advised them, please, you make a geotechnical investigation. So they gave it to our company, went to the site. I was there personally, did the investigations. So the soils there, to discover in our process of soil investigations, the truth is the soils were actually sandy. These people were just excavating 1.2 meters below the ground. So the depth of where the rock was, it was actually 3 meters below that.
That's
Wow.
why
No?
it was falling.
So now, the region where they were in was an earthquake prone. They didn't know. So the engineer had not designed for what happens if there's an earthquake. So what I found there, I just told them simple 2 statements after the investigations. I told them, let them excavate off all the sandy soils to the hard rock, which was 3 meters deep, and they provide a ground beam to cater for vertical shaking of the earthquakes. Up to now, the tank is working. There's no more demons on that area. Must have suited by- So I think the village people say that these people must have given demons and they are happy. Because actually that's why the scenario came. Abasajja balimi wali ne bateekayo omutwe gw'omuntu. We are making soils and something goes up and becomes stable. So after doing that, possibly that is what the people got in the village, but that's the importance of them. I've seen them work. That's one of the structures, which was very simple, a tank, but was falling over and over until we did soils. So that's the geotechnical investigations, and we usually do them at our office, and we usually encourage people to do them. As long as you're going 3 levels and above, most councils now need them.
As we're winding up, engineer, you talked of your client who had a dream of constructing a home, but you told him or you advised him he should build rentals on the same plot of land.
Yes.
So I got a question. What is construction and what is real estate?
Yeah. When you ask that question, it's a very good question. what is construction? Construction is just broad. It can be a construction of a road, construction of a well, construction of anything. It's just putting up a shape above the ground level or below the ground level. That is what I can give you. Yet real estate, it is investing in maybe a residential or in commercial, because we have got different real estate. But now it is more into housing. Yet construction can be putting up any shape above or below the ground surface. Because we have tunneling, we have got river banks, they are all under construction. We have dams. So construction is broad. So, but with real estate, you are focusing on either maybe constructing buildings for rentals, constructing buildings for commercial, arcades. There's so much. That's why I told you when you asked me about a beginner wants to go into real estate, get information about it. What do you want to do exactly? Is it rental? Are you going to do duplex? Are you going to do apartments? Are you going to do single down rentals? What is the purpose of the rentals? Do you want to put them on maybe for sale? Are they going to be monthly rentals? Are you going to maybe list them on which app that gives out these rental areas?
Airbnb.
Airbnb. So you have to know exactly where you want to invest. So if you have information, you narrow down to the direction you want. And that's what I was telling this client was in diaspora, that he can do rentals whereby he expects some return per month. So I gave him a specific narrowed real estate investment type, but they are so broad. So that is the difference maybe I would tell you about construction and real estate.
About
the difference between construction and
engineer really explained it the way I know it, because construction is when you're building something mainly, whether on us on the surface or below, as long as you're constructing. And real estate, to summarize it, is you're investing. When you're investing, you expect return on investment. So you're basically constructing this thing, but you're expecting a return of some revenue from it. So that's what I basically understand with real estate. Though it is wide, there's real estate like he said, there are ventures. There are people venture into let me just talk about the apartment. Someone can build an apartment for just to rental, and there's a person who can do an apartment and they furnish it. They do Airbnb. Then there's someone who can build it and sell it in form of condominium units. You get it? So all of these, the direction you would take depends on what you've really understood. One would say, me, I'm comfortable constructing this apartment and do produce condominium titles. By that, our company, we also do those condominium titles. We help client produce the condominium titles. So someone could take that direction and sell each flat, provide titles. Another person would say, me, I just want rental income. Another one would say, no, I would furnish them and put in Airbnb. So that is also another direction of real estate. So basically, I think there someone can really understand what it really means.
I think we still have a lot to discuss, but for the time today, I think that's enough. But the next time, I think we should really discuss what did you mean by return on investment. In real estate. What do you mean by return on investment in real estate? So probably next time, whoever is interested in finding out what is meant by return on investment, if you're interested in knowing what are you expecting from your investment in real estate, next time, catch up the same time, the same people, the same podcast, the Engineers Corner. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. And if you've gotten any question from the discussion we've got, please write it in the comment section. We shall find it and give you the answers next time. Thank you.